Welcome back to the Wild Charles Show, guys. I'm Wild Charles, and I am hanging out with a couple of Louisiana boys here, Byron and Mark, out on the Louisiana Bayou.
Okay. Yeah, we have a lot of bayous out here, but this is actually a Atchafalaya Basin.
What did you just say?
We have a lot of bayous out here.
I heard that part. Yeah, I heard that part.
But this is actually the Atchafalaya Basin.
Atchafalaya Basin.
Atchafalaya Basin.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. And if you're local, you probably just eliminate the ah. You just say, I'm going to Atchafalaya Basin.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get used to this Louisiana pronunciation here.
Yeah, Michelle, we got a lot of beautiful stuff out here in this forest there. Yep, this forest is all second growth forest, matter of fact, there. But in a couple of weeks, everything's going to be starting to get green in here. One of the most beautiful places on the planet.
So this is like fall here, right? So all this is normally like green?
Very green.
Yes. Very beautiful. Birds flying all over the place there. The only thing you got to do with nesting birds when you're passing underneath them there, because most people, when they look straight up, their mouth naturally opens, and of course you don't want to be doing that underneath a bird's nest.
You don't want to open your mouth under a bird's nest. This guy.
We don't want to interrupt the nursery. The nursery. Hey, it's gotta keep quiet. A couple of reasons not to open your mouth.
Yeah.
The other one is a little more, understandable.
I love it. So we're going out. We are going out on the swamp here. We're already out on the swamp, and we're going to go on a swamp adventure. I'm going to see what kind of cool animals we might be able to find. And these guys are going to guide me on this tour because I don't know where I'm at.
We might even get lucky along the way and run into an owl. Sometimes we speak to them.
That's pretty good.
And then the answer, whoo!
Yep.
All right, guys, we're going to go do this.
They used to have an old railroad that run through the basin right here before the big flood of 1927. Now, the Mississippi River flood of 1927 was one of the most devastating river floods in United States history. And from what I remember reading there, it killed over 240 people in 7 states. But this is where that run. And you could actually get on that train and either go to Lafayette or go to Baton Rouge, but you had to spend the night because it only came one time a day.
So it ran through there until the flood and they didn't rebuild it?
Correct.
If you look close, guys, there is a alligator right here, right on the other side of that log, and she's got a little baby right by her. You can see the little bit of the striped tail sticking out. It's a mother alligator.
Boudreaux and Thibodeau came to the basin here to go fishing, but they didn't have a boat. They had to rent a boat. So they rented them a boat, and they came out here to the forest, and they found a place, man, they caught a bunch of fish. So that afternoon, before they was fixing to leave, Thibodeau told Boudreaux, said, Boudreaux, we need to mark this spot so next time we come back we can catch a lot more fish. Boudreaux said, now I got that covered. He stood up, reached in his pocket, pulled out a pocket knife. He leaned over the side of the boat. He put a big old X on the side of the boat. And Thibodeau looked at him and said, Boudreaux, that's not going to work. He said, what do you mean that's not going to work? He said, man, Boudreaux, next time we come, we might not get the same boat.
Got an alligator coming towards us, guys. Big one. How big do you think that alligator is?
If you could imagine, right between their eyes to the tip of their nose, if you could imagine how long that is in inches, that's usually how long they are in feet. So we're going at least a good 9 or 10.
He's going under.
Maybe even 11 feet. All right, y'all. I just want to let y'all know there, I've been doing these swamp tours here going on 6 years. And I had a group of ladies from Wisconsin that was on tour with me one time. They had left their husbands and boyfriends home, having the time of their life. I was parked out in the forest there, we was talking, and I went and made the mistake of asking them ladies when they was going back home. Well, one lady said the next day. Another lady got so upset that I brought that up, she actually started crying. Well, come to find out, she had some really bad problems back home. She didn't want nobody talking about it, bringing it up, or anything like that. But of course, I didn't know no better. But anyways, them ladies was patting her on the back trying to make her feel better. I said, ma'am, I am so sorry for bringing that up. I had no idea. But I said, it kind of sounds like you're in the same predicament I was in a few years back. So I said, listen, when you get back home, if things are really still that bad, I said, maybe you could try what I did. But a few years ago, I moved out here to the most beautiful, peaceful bayou in the world. I said, there's no bayou like it. There's no drama, no fighting, nothing but peace and quiet. I said, I'm telling you, it's the most beautiful bayou in the world. So I'm going to be honest with you, it gets lonely sometimes, but it's the most beautiful bayou in the world. She said, well, I'm going to keep that in mind because I've been in a bad relationship for a long time. She asked me, she said, what bayou is that? I said, Miss Shada, it's called Bayou Self. Okay.
Anyway.
So what kind of trees are these back here?
Most of these trees are primarily black willow, which actually arrived here by way of the Mississippi River. We get 1/3 of the Mississippi River's water through here. So all of these willows have all come down from up in the Midwest over many, many years.
So the seeds all came from up
Seeds,
north.
correct. The seeds all came with along with the silt, and it's interesting because this water rises and falls to such a degree, a large degree every year. Especially when all the snow is melting throughout the Midwest, the water rises, bringing in a lot of muddy water and silt, and then when the water drops, these seeds are actually naturally planted by the river itself. And of course, once the forest area dries up, the willow trees sprout up and start growing very quickly. Unfortunately for them, they grow very fast, but they don't live long. Like a cypress tree, which will take up to 200 years to become a mature adult tree.
So the cypress trees we saw earlier, they can be up to 200 years old?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. We had, well,
it takes 200 years for them to mature, but they actually live over 1,000.
Yeah, they live over 1,000. Yeah. But there was a time, all these tree stumps where we've seen in the open areas, there was a lot of logging that occurred here between 1716 to about 1925. All this lumber was hand cut out here with hand saws and sold to European shipbuilders throughout the 1700s.
They actually built ships out of the logs out here?
Well, they took the logs.
Were they willow or were they cypress?
No, they were cypress.
Cypress.
That was a period when there was a tremendous amount of logging that was occurring throughout South Louisiana, and there were log mills, sawmills in the region. There were roughly probably a dozen or so within the region. So they would, of course, bring the logs to the sawmills. They would cut them into board feet, and then the sawmills would in turn sell the wood and export it to these European shipbuilders because it doesn't rot very easily and it doesn't attract termites. And also in
really, termites won't eat it? They won't eat cypress?
Not their flavor.
Wow.
Not their flavor. I mean, they shy away from cypress, and therefore during the 1800s there was still a lot of logging occurring. However, a lot of that wood then was used domestically to build the big plantation homes that are throughout the South, as well as smaller dwellings and businesses and what have you. Now, in roughly around 1925, 1926, the U.S. government initiated some agreements with some of the large landowners down in this region to start protecting the cypress trees, so they no longer would clear cut, just cut away.
Cut everything down.
They still do some logging for cypress, but it's not clear cut. They have to leave so many within a certain perimeter to be able to reseed. Thank goodness, I mean, like.
Yeah, you don't want to destroy it. This beautiful swamp.
Yeah, it's they're all protected now, like I said, and thank goodness for it, because we have cypress trees out here that well around 1,000 year old.
1,000 years old.
Yeah, it's something to think about, huh?
That is. Those trees might last longer than us.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to last longer than us.
Oh, they're definitely going to last longer than us. And the thing is, the cypress trees, one unique thing about the cypress trees is they start deteriorating from the inside out. So a tree will have a large cavity in it, but it's still fully alive on the outside. So different animals will use those cavities for nesting and making their houses,
What type of animals?
Raccoons, you know, mink, nutria, these waterborne animals, and what have you, and of course, you know, snakes. I'm sure take advantage of these these pouches inside there. Also, in some of the higher areas where these you have these cavities on these trees, that the barred owls like to use those environments for nesting. So it all works together. You know, nature is just amazing. You come out here, you just never know what you're gonna see. You know, we've even come across Bigfoot a couple of times.
Wait. Bigfoot.
And his little boy, Littlefoot.
You got any pictures?
No, I'm kidding. My camera wasn't working that day.
I bet it wasn't. Oh, Byron, have you seen any Bigfoots out here?
No, me, when they lower the water there, I'm hoping to find a mermaid one day. But I tell that to my group every time we come out there. If we find a mermaid, I got first option.
You gotta watch them Cajun mermaids. They get feisty though.
Oh yeah. But no, guys, really, this is the most beautiful place on earth, I believe. There, and I sure wish you'd come back in a couple of weeks and everything turns green. You just have to see it to believe it. Yep.
Just come on down and join the fun. We'll show you some wildlife, tell you about the history, the culture.
And it's McGee's Swamp Tours, guys.
McGee's Swamp Tours and Adventures.
Swamp Tours and Adventures.
And we promise we'll try to bring back everybody. It's not every time we bring back everybody, but
this guy sometimes loses people.
Well, yeah. A couple of weeks ago, I had to put a lady on the bank to go to the restroom. Yeah, she went in the bushes. I'm still looking for her. So.